Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. This is Armando, and I'm with Carey, Colby.
Hello.
Carey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
That's
Very
awesome.
nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. Come on. I'm glad you made it out. Se habla español, correct?
Sí.
Perfecto. You know, we're on 104.5 FM and 106.1 FM, and that's in Espanol, and I don't believe it translates for the folks, and so I'm glad you're here.
Okay.
But you also have a lot of insight to one of our guests and can help me out with maybe some of the right questions to ask about an upcoming guest that we met at the American Medieval Combat Federation.
Yes.
And they're here in the studio now. They're here for the show. And we have other guests afterwards, so please stay tuned for that. But we're going to start out with the American Medieval Combat Federation, who's got the upcoming event, the International Medieval Combat.
Yep.
And I need to know more about all that because we went. When was the last one? It was in December?
It was when it was very cold here in Conroe.
It was cold, and I think that was December. And what a great time. It introduced it to a lot of folks here in the area, which, you know, we obviously have a taste for the medieval arts. You know, I mean, Renaissance Festival isn't killing it for nothing. Yeah. You know, something like 850,000 visitors a year during an 8-week season that's weekends only in the woods out in the middle of just about nowhere. Yeah. But yet 800,000 people make it every year out into the woods to do that. So clearly there's a strong interest. But you've got something that is I want to say part of the core of the event coming up.
Yes. And
yeah,
it's similar to that, but in much more detail, I feel.
Yeah.
It's much more real.
It certainly is. And let's make it real. Let's bring in our guest. We have with us Jamie Cox and Taylor Jones.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. We'll get this one started. And guys, thank you for coming out to the studio. I know you came a long way to visit with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
And you're a competitor, right?
Yes, sir.
You're in it.
Yes, sir.
And
the light heavyweight champion for the USA right now as well.
And that's individual.
That's individual. And then we also have our team that we represent. We've been in the last 2 world championships on the 16-man team.
Gold medalists.
And y'all had to leave the country for the other one, didn't you?
The last 2 of them, yeah.
The last 2 of them.
We went to Spain and Mexico.
This is the first time it's ever been in America.
That's amazing. And it's going to be right here in Conroe.
I know.
Right here
yeah.
in Conroe.
Here in Conroe.
What a unique opportunity.
Defend our home turf.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you feel that way. And, you know, I
Yes.
keep thinking about what sports teams do we have here in Conroe. And, you know, we do have some nonprofit teams like the Conroe Cutthroats. It's a ladies roller derby team.
Oh, I've heard of that.
And they're full contact.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, the characters all have the players all have tournament names, you know, like stage names.
They need to come and try out for
I know.
our
They
team.
need
We
to
have
come
a
do
women's
medieval
team.
combat.
I saw that. They look good. They're competing. The ladies are in it.
Yeah.
We're messing
Yes.
around. I love all the plumes and
the team in Dallas, the Mythics, they are gold medalists every year.
And there's a ladies team that plays in the world tournament as well.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From all over the world. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, the Mythics are on Team USA.
That's fantastic. And
Yeah.
your particular team, what's it called again?
San Jacinto Knights of Houston.
They're huge.
Yes.
There's some big guys on your squad.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
wait a
my
minute,
God.
what the heck? The mountains on your team. What's that guy's name? I think he's an engineer, honestly.
Yeah, he is.
In his real life. But
Nick Dahl. Nick
Golly,
Nick
it's a-
Dahl, yeah.
7'2".
He's a character in his
450. He has a
Dang, 7'2",
Sir Gregor.
450?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big guy.
It's a big
Yeah.
guy. A lot of moving weight.
Yes.
If you're not intimidated by a 7'2", 450-pound guy, you're lying. You know, I mean, I was dwarfed. I remember when I met Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler for the first time as a young kid, and my dad took us to something where you get to meet the Rockets, for the city of Houston, and I shook his hand, and it was like I was like a infant hand.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, his fingernails are made of wood.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yeah.
One of them has a tree. Big eyes. So now we're talking August 7th through 10th here
Yes.
in Conroe at the Lone Star Fairgrounds, and that's the same place as the American Federation, the qualifier.
Yes.
The qualifier, yeah.
And so how does that whittle down? How does that work? How do you get from the qualifier to go to the world?
So the teams that come in first, second, third, and fourth, they place
They get to go.
to go to the qualifier. They place to go to the World Championships.
In the qualifier.
In the qualifier.
Yeah.
Okay. And to qualify to participate in the qualifier, you had to do something else.
No, you just had to show up.
You show up.
Yeah.
That's all
Have a
partic-
team.
Have a team.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Show up on.
What's
a
a team? How many guys are in a team?
8
Minimum.
people on a team. 5. So it's an 8-man roster for the 5-on-5 tournament.
Okay.
So
And that's what you used to qualify as a 5-man team.
And you
But
get
you
sub
get
the
8
other
all
3
together.
guys.
Yeah. In case someone gets hurt, God forbid.
right.
But it happens.
Did you ever get scared when
So the first time I was ever involved in it with my husband, who's also a competitor,
And
there was a lot of shaking and
Yes.
sweat, and
Yep.
as soon as I see them going after him, I mean, it still happens where I get very, very nervous.
Yeah. It's crazy though because like the practices are more nerve-wracking than the actual tournaments. I don't know why, but like I don't really get nervous going in like watching my husband because he's a captain on the team. Watching my husband fight, but at practices it's so scary. I don't know why, but it's so
That is
scary.
interesting.
do you ever
Okay.
tell them, get
I think it's
behind
because
that
they're
guy?
all so goofy.
Get behind the big guy.
Yes.
Stand behind
Yeah.
the 450 human apartment complex
yeah,
up front.
yeah.
Yeah. When did he cut? I mean, that's the way most quarterbacks think it. I mean,
Yeah.
they're behind the pocket going, golly, I hope these guys
Yeah,
are
yeah, behind
you
the
know,
big old center,
Do not
like-
let those guys over here.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
those guys can't get anywhere
Yeah,
near
no,
me.
it's very nerve-wracking, but so in order for me to get those nerves out of me,
Yeah.
I became involved in the sport in a different way. So I'm one of the marshals
Okay.
who is
Yeah.
like a referee in
Yeah,
other
yeah.
sports. So I get to watch them and pay attention to them, but I'm not as fearful of them getting hurt now.
Because you can drop that stick with the flag on it.
Yes,
hitting
yes.
him!
Shots.
Only for illegal. She can't be biased.
Yeah, I can't bias. I actually disqualified him once for having an illegal weapon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my
I didn't
God.
know that.
And now the
That's
weapons.
awesome.
We'll get into that. Now the weapons are all steel. They're and occasionally there's
Yep.
calls for other kinds of weapons and regulations there. Or are they just always all steel?
They're always all steel.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Wood
yeah.
and steel.
There's swords, there's falchions, there's one-handed axes, two-handed axes, halberds, maces. But they're all steel. They're all blunted. There's no
Yeah.
sharp ends on them. Yeah.
And what about like a hammer?
So IMCF, they're not allowed to have a hammer on the back, but Boo Hurt International, they are, which is like 2 separate leagues. Yeah.
Okay. And which one are y'all?
Both. We fight them all.
Both, yeah,
Fighting
but
all
this
over.
is IMCF.
You just know when you step into that ring, this
Yes.
qualifies. There's going to be a hammer. Someone's going to have a.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're going into BI. Yeah.
The,
But this event is IMCF, so there will be no hammers.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not allowed.
So
Yep.
now let's talk about scoring and how you win, right? So we're on the field, we're doing our thing. You know, how do you win? How do you score?
and so you most of the time it's 5-on-5, and you win by getting the other team on the ground. And however you do that, by throwing them, by chopping them with the two-handed axe, and until they
Pain
fall, whatever it
compliance,
is,
yeah.
pain compliance.
Grappling.
Right.
Yeah. But
A lot of
it c-
standing judo, things
Yeah.
like that, grappling, wrestling,
yeah,
team
at the
fighting.
least it has to be 3v1 for it to be stopped.
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
saw that.
yeah. If there's 2v1, it's fine. But
Yeah, they let it
3v1,
go.
4v1, 5v1, it's over. Yeah, they have
The
to
other
stop
team
it.
wins, and then
Yeah.
how does that score?
So you're fighting 2 out of 3 rounds at a tournament,
Okay, so same two teams are going to front each other 2 to 3 times.
2 out of 3
Yeah,
times.
best
correct.
2 out of 3.
And the
yeah.
winner is the best of 2 out of 3. And
Yeah,
what does
and
he
they
score?
count how many people are left standing, and if anything comes to like, if at the end there's some kind of tie on record, they go off of people standing numbers.
Oh, okay.
Then, yeah,
So it's just a point to
Yes,
win that.
yeah.
So like,
Points, yeah.
and then
it's the same for 10v10, 16v16, and up.
yeah. And
Yeah.
so how many times do they do a 16v16?
Same thing. It's best out of 3.
Does it like different types of events during the event?
So
Like a
yes.
putting contest,
So you
driving
have
contest, and
you have different events like a track, kind of like a track meet where
Okay.
you have different lengths of running. You have different sizes of the fight. So you have a 5-on-5, then you have a 10-on-10 event, and then
this
you
will
have a
put your
16-on-16 event.
total score together, out of all the events? Or
No,
Each
different
one's
teams
separate.
qualify for
so
different
you could place
segments.
first here, not in anything else, but we'll
Correct.
go first there. It's
Yeah.
kind of like winning
So
beans
like
at
at
the cook-off.
qualifiers, whoever got at qualifiers that we just had in December, whoever got first place is on the 5v5 team. For second place
First and
also,
second.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, second place this year gets a 5v5 team also. Third place, which is what they qualified at, gets a 10v10 team.
Okay.
And yeah. And so that's how you
Nice.
find out what team you're going to be on for
Yeah.
Worlds.
Representing
Yeah,
the US.
representing, yeah.
So there was a team, and they were all in green.
Mm-hmm.
Had like a team coach there with them that wasn't.
Yeah.
He wasn't a participant.
Detroit Fight Club.
Is that what it
Oh,
is? Detroit
yes,
Fight Club. Pretty
yes.
entertaining little group there.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that's
Boris.
Boris. I love
Love
him.
Boris.
He's so funny.
Yes. Boris is the man.
Yeah, they're green
Oh
with
my
like
gosh.
the yellow
Le
like
Fleur de
floor.
Lis,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They're from Detroit.
He is the best. You can tell where he is at all times.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's
you
running
can
around
hear
there.
him.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Mhm.
I think the character really adds to the whole thing, and I
Yeah.
think he's playing into it a bit.
He's
but
awesome.
maybe that's just the way he is. Hell,
That's
I
I
don't
just
think
know.
it's just the way he is. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
He's
hilarious.
that.
It
Yeah.
didn't look like he was pulling a whole lot of character out of nowhere. He was into it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
And so was the city of Conroe. I know we were out there, and the mayor pro tem was there for the
Yeah.
opening event, and the other folks from the city of Conroe, including Andrew, you see our communications director here, public information officer at City of Conroe, and they're all looking to support the event that's coming up, and everybody's excited about it. And
Yeah.
I can't tell you how I grew more excited about it. I mean, at the event, it was like, I come to this place to shoot a lot of events and stuff like
Right,
that,
right.
but kind of like this was in my. We choose the events. It was you and
Yeah.
a fishing club, So
Yeah.
it's like, here's a few of my favorite things. So it was easy, and it's all that fun stuff that people like to see and watch. And I think this is a great event for a family to come out and visit. It's in
Absolutely.
a
Yeah.
covered
Family
environment.
friendly.
It's
Yeah.
cool. There's decent restrooms. There's what I mean.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
got a
There's
nice
going to be a ton of
facility.
vendors. There's going to be food trucks.
Is
Yeah.
there? Is
Yeah.
there vendors this year? What kind of vendors are you looking for?
There's probably, I think they've already got them all.
Okay.
But there's probably going to be like weapon vendors, like leather bag vendors, just all different kinds. Jewelry vendors,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
And so the San Jacinto Knights of Houston is the page, and you can find them on Instagram. And y'all
And
are
Facebook,
And
too.
Facebook, okay.
Yes.
And y'all are practicing at Taylor's Gym, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And where about is that?
Southeast.
Southeast Houston?
610. Yeah.
Okay.
Gulfgate area.
What are you
Yeah.
doing down there when you practice? Y'all just beating technique? I mean,
We-
is it judo? Is it
we're
mat?
training-
Judo,
or-
yeah.
We're training different things every day. Yeah, we are doing. We have beginners class on Tuesday. Then we also have like team workouts. We have team conditioning.
Oh, yeah, okay, sure.
Sparring, and then we have team practices also on Saturday and Sundays.
Yeah.
But when you're in that cage and you're doing and now I've seen these total side event, and I think it's totally unique from what we're talking about here at the Lone Star Convention Center that's happening again August 7th through 10th. That's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yes. Yes,
sir.
In August, and that's the world event, right?
Yes.
So
Right.
that's bringing
World
in teams
Championships.
from all over the world are going to be
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
here to Conroe, and during this time at the Lone Star Fairgrounds. But now you participate in a different kind of medieval fighting as well.
A fight in the armored MMA.
Yeah,
Cage
tell me about
fighting.
that.
So that's like the professional.
Joe Rogan on the sidelines at these things.
He.
Not yet.
No, not yet. We have commentators though. We do have great commentators.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had one
Curious.
we had one May 10th in Houston
Here in
at
Houston,
the
yeah.
at the Arena Theater
I saw some
It was
YouTubes that
amazing.
came out. Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw some of those, but just kind of the highlight reels, and I wasn't sure how they're tied together. Are there other similar organizations to the American Medieval Combat Federation and the International Medieval Combat Federation in the city?
In the
our
city,
Like here in Houston, in this area, do you think?
so we have our team, the San Jacinto Knights, and we participate in these organizations
Sure.
as a league. These leagues are
Is
nationwide.
this
But
league
there's-
the most predominant in the city of Houston, you think?
A shake. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how many of them that are out there. I mean, how many?
There's other
leagues
small
could you
ones.
play?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The armored MMA would be the predominant cage fighting, and then the IMCF will be the predominant league.
Which do you prefer? I mean, do you prefer the individual cage fighting or the team fights, or?
Oh,
They're
they're
both
both
different in
separate.
their own
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I would
Yeah,
think they're
respect.
entirely
Yeah.
different. You know, teamwork versus solo. You know, and I
I love
think
it both.
Yeah,
love it both.
I'm all confident with the team. I kind of
Yeah.
like the whole, you know, bigger the better. The 16v16s you're
Having
talking
the team
about.
is so
Yeah.
fun. It's so fun to be on the open field. You
It's
have
so fun to watch.
your
There's so
friends.
much going
Is-
on.
Is
Yeah.
there? Are we having an event where we're allowing everybody, even if you've never worn armor? At
Oh
this event?
yes, so they're going to be having mass battles. This is the first time it's going to happen.
Okay.
Where I think it's at least 100 versus 100. It's going to be
What?
Yeah.
massive.
That'd be
So if
crazy.
you've never worn
And
armor
it's
before, you
people-
want to participate.
Yeah, like if me and her wanted to do it, we
Yeah.
could find armor that fit us. Like my husband's like, you can put mine on. And I'm
Yeah, I'm
still
gonna-
thinking about it. I
5
need to work
miles
on
an
my
hour.
cardio.
I'm not even
I know,
doing it.
right? I'm gonna be in the back. I'm gonna be the one in the back. But
I will
yeah,
be
it's gonna
Hard
be
stomping one step
Yeah.
at a time.
Very
it's gonna be
far
like
back,
100 versus
yeah.
100 or 150 versus 150.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a
Where are you
mass
going to do
battle.
that at?
Same
In the
place.
city.
Yeah.
In
I'm
that
sure they're
area.
gonna take the list down. We're not gonna fit in that thing, but yeah.
That'd be fun to watch. Is that happening here?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
At
gonna
that
be at
tournament.
this
Yeah, at
tournament.
this-
Really? And how do
Yeah.
you sign up for that?
I don't know, honestly.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
You find them on
Not like I'm going to get down there, but I
Find
should,
the
other than
AMC.
with the camera. I'll
Yeah,
be that
yeah,
guy
yeah.
in a lens or the
But
helmet
on their
on. With a
AMCF,
helmet on.
on the AMCF Facebook, they should have something about how to sign up for it or info on it. The American Medieval Combat Federation.
Awesome. And so you also have some ties to the Texas Renaissance Festival coming up.
Yes.
And it's the 51st season, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are y'all doing out there?
So
Our friends out there fight. They
Yeah.
fight in the arena since 2019.
seen
They're
it.
fighting out there. Yeah.
yeah.
I've seen some late night shows that involve everything from fire to straight sword fighting.
Oh
to-
yeah,
there you
yeah.
go,
you know.
So it's where they do the jousting at. Yeah, they'll do it a few times a day each day.
Man, I've
Yeah.
sat up there and I've seen them where they hit a shield and it shatter it.
Yeah.
I've seen these shields explode. I mean, little chips come off where the wood
Yeah.
working
Or
is
you
see the
just
sparks,
clean
yeah.
line, because it's just the wood of the shield that broke from the
Yeah.
pressure. But then
Right.
others will just splinter, and it's just
Yeah.
the coolest thing. I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, he's
Yeah.
he's swinging for the fences. This guy's not. Oh, I better not hurt him. He's not.
Yeah,
they're
no,
trying to
yeah.
hurt you.
Oh yeah, he's trying
Yeah.
to hurt. He's bringing the heat. I mean,
Yeah.
I saw him,
beautiful.
doing it, and it's full contact, and they're down there,
Yeah.
doing, and
Yeah.
people do get hurt. I've seen, and it's
Yeah, there's so much technique that goes into the swings too. Like they practice it, so
Practicing
Yeah.
it. Right. It is intense. People do get hurt,
yeah.
What's
but just
the
like
most,
any
Yeah,
full
yeah,
speed.
sure.
What's the
full
most
speed thing.
common injury you would say people get?
Knee
I
or Achilles.
don't know. It's the people getting bruised up, claiming they broke a bone.
But
That's
it's
the
just a
most-
bruise.
That's
yeah.
the most common
Or
injury.
it's a
is,
broken finger.
I broke a hand.
Oh, yeah,
I broke my
broken
arm. I
fingers.
broke my finger. I broke my. No, you didn't. Anyway. No, you didn't. Whatever. It's just.
I keep a box of
Yeah.
popsicle sticks and some
Yeah.
tape,
Yeah,
for
yeah,
fingers
yeah.
and toes. You
I think legs and ankles.
You get
are
a lot
the-
of bruising,
yeah.
a lot of
Legs
bruising,
And ankles,
and
yeah.
yeah. As far as injury goes, probably the knee. Just as far as like.
Yeah.
because they're trying to get him to fall down.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you
they're
get
going
people,
low.
like,
Yeah, they're
step
trying to bring
through,
your feet out from under you.
Yeah.
People's legs get caught
Knees
up.
are
and
yeah,
things like
knees are
that,
not
yeah.
allowed to be hit or kicked, but things happen when
back
you're
of it.
throwing. Yeah, the back of the knees.
Or
Yeah.
I'm going to the foot, to bring you down, foot sweeping everybody.
Yeah,
you know,
foot
it's-
sweeps are fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and you can do that with your weapon too, I guess.
You can't hit the foot with a weapon.
Oh no, yeah, you can't
yeah,
swing at
that's
the feet.
another illegal spot.
There's some rules. There are some
Yeah, there
rules.
are some rules.
The
Jack-
weapon,
We're
the
not-
You got
weapons are
Jackie Chan
regulated.
360
Yeah,
down there.
yeah. So
The weapons have weight regulations and thickness and,
and length
thinness.
and shortness. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it.
So they're all
Maybe you could
regulated.
share the dates with our Spanish-speaking audience there.
Agosto 7 al 10 en Lone Star, en el Lone Star Convention Center. Vamos a tener a los peleadores de pues, caballeros, ya caballeros de los tiempos de los reyes y las reinas.
Sí.
Medievales.
Perfecto.
Medievales.
Perfecto. Gracias. So we wanted to make sure that everybody knew that it was open to the public to come attend this event, to come watch what happens, and there's going to be a chance to even participate.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not for the lighthearted. You may want to see it once where you volunteer to jump out there.
Yeah, there's safety waivers involved.
I'm almost
yeah,
6
yeah,
foot
yeah.
tall and
Reliability is
205.
Yeah.
We,
Hesitant.
yeah, and so you've seen the armored MMA cage fighting.
I have,
Okay,
yeah.
so I'm not the only one on our team that fights in the one-on-one fighting.
Okay.
So we actually have a fight night coming up June 14th.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It's at our gym. It's a pro fight night. It's kind of like like your regional MMA night, fight night, where we have.
Where it's
our
not on
guys-
pay-per-view. It's like the
Right.
smaller one. Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
We'll live stream it on our Facebook page, but we'll also we have like 100 tickets we're selling, and just like our guys at the gym, and we're
Just turn it
fighting
Yeah.
people in the local areas of like Corpus Christi, Dallas, Austin.
I don't think
Yeah.
you get the
Yeah.
feel for it until you see it.
In person,
get to
exactly.
see it.
Yeah. We
I
had our
mean-
first one in March.
March.
And everyone was
Oh,
like,
it's so
"When
fun.
are you doing it again? We
I
want to
think,
come
I think
back."
the perception is that it's not full contact. They're not really getting
Everybody
after
thinks
it.
it's LARP.
It's hard
Yeah,
to
and
believe.
it's not
and it's
LARPing.
not.
It's hard to believe that you're full speed swinging with steel weapons
Oh,
against
they are.
another human, and you
Not
are. The armor
dying.
works. The armor
Yeah.
works. Sometimes you get hit in not an armored spot, and it hurts more.
Yeah, yeah.
But
The bruises are
like
real.
Yes.
the bruising happens.
Yeah.
I played paintball, and I
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
tell
Oh,
you,
yeah.
I
There
you
looked
go.
like I
Like
had
that.
spots all over me.
Like a leopard, yeah.
Full day
Yeah.
of paintball, there's a million bruises about this big. I look like I had
Yeah.
ringworm.
It's a
Full body ringworm.
It's a regular day
Yeah.
of practice for us.
Yeah,
When
for
we
real.
Come to soft. The training we do, a lot of it is in like just regular soft kit. We call it soft kit, but it's your regular MMA sparring stuff,
Okay.
like the gloves.
Oh, yeah, right.
Or it's like foam sword kind of thing. So we're not hurting each other, and it's also like we're able to get people
Yeah.
involved without having to buy equipment. You
Yeah.
know?
I see. And then on the but in the cage fight now,
Mhm.
I mean, you guys a weapon, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
They're
No,
yeah.
that's
I've
all
seen
weapon.
these weapon
It's a
based,
one-on-one weapon fight.
Do you ever just
You're allowed to for a couple seconds. You're allowed to
Throw that
drop
down.
for a
Yeah.
couple seconds.
Some people do it at the very end, right?
Right.
They'll make an agreement
Drop
and
it.
just
You're allowed to drop it for. You can drop it for 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So
And
what
they'll
was
just
that 300?
slug it
His
out.
helmet was stifling.
I do
His
have a
sword was
question for
heavy.
you. So
Yeah.
Shield.
the
overbearing.
armor,
Uh-huh.
how do you acquire it, and how much does it weigh?
okay, they're different armors weigh different things. So like we were talking about, there's different events. How a fight in the one-on-one fighting, and then also fight in the team fighting.
Yeah.
When I go fight in the one-on-one fighting, my armor weighs about 45 pounds total from head to toe, and then when I go fight in the melee, it goes to about 80 pounds total, just for the mobility and difference, that you're covered a little bit more, your armor's a lot thicker, because you're going against more people, and
Yeah, you're gonna get hit a lot.
you're gonna get hit a lot more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're
And
gonna
so
get
do you-
hit by people that you don't see coming, things like that.
Do you do like PT training and just running with bricks in your backpack? And just,
we
you know?
do train at the gym. We train
They got the big tires, all that stuff.
all kinds of different functional conditioning, hit workouts and endurance workouts that we do
Yeah.
over
Are you
there.
military at all? Ex-military?
I'm not, no, but we do have a lot of
I
guys
would
that
think so.
are.
Yeah.
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 And you can get the armor. We get them from we have blacksmith companies overseas, and a lot in the Ukraine, Poland.
Yeah, Mr. Cyrus brought his stuff in for
Yeah.
us, and we
Yeah.
got to wear his helmet. I had his body armor for a whole episode.
Yeah.
That's
awesome.
Just the top part, you know.
Yeah.
And my co-host wore the helmet the whole time.
Yeah.
It gets hot.
It
Yeah.
did. I mean, the sword was huge. It was the length of the
Yeah.
table. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like massive almost. I mean, it was.
Yeah, there's a
like,
long sword.
What the? You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like, they gotta go with something a little more smaller. You know?
Yeah.
Or axe and a hammer. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
more me. Double.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Was that's the Patriot?
Yeah,
Mel
yeah,
Gibson.
yeah.
You remember?
Dual wielding.
The Mel Gibson. It was the.
The ghost.
Yeah.
The ghost. What did they call him? It was something from that.
The ghost. Yeah.
The butcher of something. Remember, they had a name for him. He was like, "Oh, we remember you. You're the guy." Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Tanner would know.
Jumping around.
He loves that movie.
I would imagine there's a lot of that. That reflect on that genre. You know.
Oh,
that-
yeah.
Yeah,
that
oh,
goes
yeah.
Into a whole movie theme and that type of stuff. But
Yeah.
We all have similar interests
Yeah.
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
niche of the people that join the sport. We're all like, oh wow, okay, yeah. You can just assume like everybody.
Yeah.
There's
Is a
reason
nerd
why
in one way or
there's
another.
a reason why
One
my
of
son
us.
is named Max.
Right.
It is. It is.
Either board games or virtual games or some type
Yeah.
of like
Yeah.
nerd.
Yeah, you take the
Yeah.
LARP
It's
jockey
great.
and
Yeah.
board
Yeah.
game guy into a weird crash with reality when they
Yeah.
show up. It's like,
Right.
oh no, we weren't playing.
Yeah.
Right. Or the, me.
There's a lot of football players.
both
Yeah.
their husbands and I are football players.
college
played
football, yeah.
football, and we take that same, like the
Yeah.
camaraderie, the team,
The discipline.
the
Yeah, the
And the
discipline.
teams you're playing
Absolutely.
against
And
ain't
all of
playing.
it.
They, they're
No.
coming for the same thing. They want heads. They
Exactly.
want trophies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their tenacity was clear. Even the ladies groups, and I hate to
Oh.
separate that. And,
Right, right.
No,
I'm,
but they're
I'm gonna.
ruthless.
It's
They are
necessary
ruthless.
because
Which is why I won't join.
serious fighters.
They scare
And-
me.
they
Yeah,
are.
yeah.
And
Across the
they
board.
came out with the mean mug, and they're all
Yeah.
straight faced. No one's like, oh, this is fun.
Scarier.
You know, no,
Yeah.
they're
Right,
like,
right.
But
none
as
of
soon
that.
as they're done, they're the sweetest people.
Right.
That's what I love
Everybody.
about this sport. Is
She had
everybody's
that girl
so
that made me
loving.
cookies.
Okay, yes, they do.
They do make cookies.
Lindy's brought brownies. Lindy,
Yes.
Lindy from
Yeah, from Oklahoma. Yeah.
has brought brownies. That are
Yeah.
amazing, but it's not-
She said she's bringing Capri Sun in August.
They can bring any more than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the World Combat Federation, or the International Medieval Combat Federation's event here in Conroe. And now there's going to be teams from all over the world this time.
Correct.
Tell me a little bit about who's going to be there. What teams are we looking forward to seeing?
I think they said there's going to be like 20 countries. Mexico should be here. Canada.
And
I'm
Mexico's
sure
coming with a
Ukraine.
vendetta, right? They want to get their
They want to
trophy.
get their gold back.
Yeah, they want their gold back.
Good
yeah.
luck.
Good luck. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I'll speak for him.
Decisive
Good luck.
win. Decisive win in Mexico when you were there.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Yeah,
we,
yeah.
we took gold in all.
Multiple. They won
Yeah.
like
All
20
events almost.
categories in gold.
That's
yeah.
great. That's
yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So many.
I'm
And the-
sure
and-
Spain will try and be here. Some countries, like, they just send people for the duels. They don't
Some
have, like,
people send
full
the dueling,
teams.
yeah.
But
Yeah, nobody expects the Spanish
What are the
Inquisition.
duels? What are the duels
Nobody
entail?
expects the Spanish
the duels are,
Inquisition.
like, sword and... Are they doing sword and
They
buckler?
do long sword, sword and buckler,
Sword and shield. This
Buckler's
year,
the little round shield, right?
Yes, yeah,
The
yeah,
little
yeah.
bitty
And
one.
this year they're introducing a triathlon,
Yeah.
which is where you do sword and shield, sword and buckler, and then
Longsword.
longsword.
Two of the ladies were so fat in this in this
Yes.
tournament. Oh my bad.
Fast.
fast. They were fast. I mean, with the
Yeah.
little buckler and the,
Oh,
the
yeah,
thin swords.
yeah.
they
Oh,
were-
yeah.
It was like tick, 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 like hummingbirds.
Over.
You know, they were
Yeah.
just
Right.
moving so
and
quick.
I think
Oh
they
yeah.
only count to 5, so it's the fastest one.
It
yeah.
is
Whoever
fast.
gets the
Yeah.
5
Just the
points.
fact that they're catching it with that little buckler so well,
Yes.
you know, I mean, you can tell
Yes.
practice went into play
Yeah.
here because these girls
Yeah.
are just moving.
Tons of
and
training.
That
tons of
sword's
training.
moving so fast on both
Yeah.
sides. I was watching them. It was
Yeah, there's
you
a
can hear it.
woman
Click, click, click,
from
click, click, click,
there's a
click.
woman from Colorado that's like the best in the world,
They say you
Shoshana.
Probably
Yeah.
saw Shoshana fighting.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah, she's amazing.
There were some
She's the
ladies
most
in there
decorated
that were-
fighter in the world.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Shoshana.
And she's in Colorado. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I wonder how she preps and what she does. Where does she train? Is
Her-
there like facilities there as
Well,
well?
her
I guess?
fiance is like one of the best too, Marcin.
Marcin from Poland.
He's from Poland. I think he splits his time here in Poland, but
Oh, wow.
he's one of the best. Yeah.
That'll help.
Yeah.
You can tell a household team.
He's in there. He's in their Hall of Fame.
Your
Yeah.
kids come
yeah.
out and they're all in medieval.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
an animal. All the kids are an animal
for
fur.
sure.
Yeah,
They all
yeah.
come out in fur.
Whenever she had her kids, she had little rattlers.
You got the
Yeah.
rattlers.
Fur
I had
diaper.
a
You
little
got a fur
mace.
diaper
Yeah.
going with a rattler that looks
Yeah.
like an axe. Yeah.
He brought us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've got a post on the page of him.
That's great.
Yeah.
He was
He was
5
like
weeks old with his
I was
little
gonna say
sword
he was like a
rattle.
month old. Yeah.
So what's attendance look like for this event? What are you thinking? How many people will be in the stands? What's the
Hopefully
expectation?
thousands.
Thousands.
Yeah.
How many does it seat out there? Do you know? How many
I
can you
think
fit in that stadium?
5,000, something
like
like
that,
that.
at
It's a
least,
lot.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That's awesome,
It's a
and
big stadium.
it is a good sized field. I know you used some of that for team setups and stuff like
Yes.
that, and that facilitation. I mean, if there's 100 people,
They're going to be using more of that bottom section.
Yeah, they're gonna have
so,
2 lists this
yeah,
time.
There'll be 2
Yeah,
set
instead
up
of the one
for-
like at qualifiers, there's gonna be 2.
Yeah.
2 set up for melees, and then they'll also have some one-on-one lists set up as well.
Yeah, the
So they'll
duels,
have
yeah.
their
And
if
the
I'm-
lists are the rings, right?
Yes, yeah.
yes, correct. The list. When we say list, that's the
That's what it's
barrier, the
called.
wooden barrier that
Like a
is
ring
the
that-
field.
Yes, yeah,
right.
yeah,
The
yeah.
ring,
The
the
playing
field,
field.
the
Yeah.
list.
and
Yeah.
they open that up for that, for the bigger 100.
That's what
I
I'm
think they're just gonna
assuming.
remove it.
I think they're just gonna
Who
get rid of it
knows?
and just use the whole field
I
because
don't
that's
know.
Interesting. Yeah, and I know
Yeah.
they divided it, like string divided it for the one-on-ones. You know,
Yes.
they would put different. You know, it was a very big size, and I think it's completely utilized in the 6v6 or 5v5s and,
Yes,
and
yeah.
bigger. You know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think it.
They'll have bigger ones for the 16 on.
That would be
16s and
Yeah,
10s.
yeah, I thought that was really cool. I love
Yeah.
that touch. And, the only thing I thought I wanted to be more in tune with was looking at a scoreboard, right? Because I'm
Right,
structured, but I don't think I'd understand it. I saw it, I looked at it, I watched it, I read it, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
I
the
don't
big
get
old
it.
papers
I
they
don't
have.
get it.
Yeah. And a lot of times it changes throughout the events, like
Yeah.
if teams drop or
Yeah.
from too many injuries
Yeah.
or
As you're
watching-
yeah, or attrition. Yeah.
You see that the team fighting, whoever is the last, whoever's standing at the end is the winner.
Yeah,
That's
The
how you'll
more-
know.
Most
The
fighters.
more standing, the more points they'll get for
Yeah.
having more people standing at the end.
Yeah.
and at the end of the evening, you announce the winners. Is
Yes,
that
they'll
how it
have they'll have a
ceremony.
actual like tournament bracket. So they'll start off with pool play, and then the top teams out of each pool will go into a tournament and into a bracket and
Yeah.
elimination style
And that's why it's
tournament.
4 days worth of
Yeah.
event because it's so much. And then there will be an awards ceremony.
That's
yeah.
cool.
And they do
Yeah.
awards
And I would suggest that if you even slightly got your Rennie interest aroused, go ahead and check them out. You got to go to the website. You got to
Come
go to
on.
the page.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell them how to find you in a dozen different ways or whatever?
Yeah.
routes,
So we are San Jacinto Knights of Houston on Facebook, SJK of HOU on Instagram. You can DM us on either of those, and we can get you started. Yeah, we
We'll
have
get you
EasternArmorCombat.com also. That can
It's a
lead us to
website.
us. Yeah.
Where can we buy
You
tickets?
find our
For the
schedule.
event, for our event, it's in our page
You're
on
talking
our
about
bio.
the June 14th.
Yes,
fight at
yes.
the gym.
And then for the major one, it's on the AMCF Facebook page.
AMCF's Facebook
Yes.
page.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And June 14th is the upcoming event, and that's going to be over at the gym on the south side, over off 610.
Yep.
And Taylor's Gym. You can Google that or find
Is
it
that
on
our
those
gym?
pages.
Yeah. Yep.
June 14th. Tickets are on sale. Limited seating. Also, the international event will be happening here at the Lone Star Fairgrounds, and that again is August 7th through 10th. We're going to sell those tickets out, so you're going to get your seats. And if you'd like to get the pregame, which I would suggest, because I think
Yeah.
that really
Yeah, and they have different tiers. Like there's a VIP one that gets you more access and
Yeah.
more. Yeah,
I,
more
I-
stuff.
I think that they see it, even if they go online to watch some of it, or if they go to
Yeah,
the
yeah, they will be
event,
streaming it too.
that feel kind of gives you a perspective that is beyond what you assume. I mean,
Yeah.
I think we automatically assume we know what's going on. I can write it off, or I can say, yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But I think all assumptions need to
Give it a chance.
Yeah, give it a look.
Yes,
Spend some
absolutely.
quality time watching these guys hit
Give
each
it a
other,
second.
and ladies, guys and
Yes.
gals,
Yeah.
going at it, and that the it's the energy, it's the spirit, it's the it's the true hits that you know make it where it's not like some
It's the
theater.
real
It's not
competition.
theater.
Yeah.
You know, it's not.
Yeah, no,
marketing,
it's a
not-
sport.
You're
It
watching
is
people
a-
compete.
Yeah.
You're watching people compete for
Full
a world
contact
championship.
sport.
And
Yeah.
I've met a lot of the jousters, and through the years, we've been a Go Lake Connor, the company I'm with, has made a 18-year, working on our 19th now, with a trade partner with the Texas Renaissance Festival. So
Oh,
we go
cool.
regular, we shoot
Oh,
every
nice.
weekend.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So we've got to meet the guys, hang out, you know, and
Yeah.
see them do their thing. And man, I can't tell you how many times the perspective's wrong. I mean, at first I was in the same team, we're just kids watching some theater. It's like a play, you know. We
Yeah.
don't know any better. We're children, you know. And but then when you grow up, you're like, man, that guy's really,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
he's not playing. You know, they
No.
hauled that guy off.
Right.
Did
Yeah.
you see that? You know, I think he got burned. You know,
Yeah.
You know, he got burned.
Yeah.
You know.
Like a lot of the
Yeah.
times after the fights, they'll be like, "Can we hold your weapon?" And that's when they really get
Yeah.
to
Or
feel
their-
like,
their
oh,
helmet.
or
Hits
their
the
helmets
floor.
too.
Their
Yeah, they
helmets.
really
10
get
pounds,
to feel
15
like,
pounds in your helmet.
oh,
you
this
know?
isn't a joke. Yeah.
No, and they're hitting them, and I think that
Yeah.
brings on that energy that makes a showgoer glad he came. You
Yes,
know, and
absolutely.
not seeing people get hurt, but seeing people really put spirit in it and take
Yeah.
it away from the whole theater and more
Yeah.
a true event to a
Right.
skill.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of skill to it, a lot of talent. I mean, you know, everybody's seen Game of Thrones. I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
You know, you got a sword fight.
yeah, we've been doing it since we were little kids with sticks. You know, I mean, now it's just a blunted sword.
Yeah.
Exactly, though. Seriously, though.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm so glad y'all made the time to come. Is there anything
me
you'd like to add in closing, or any questions you have left?
So the 4-day event, how is it going to be broken down?
You know, I don't know that yet.
Okay.
A lot of times they start with duels, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
Duels and pro fights.
They will have separate. They'll have like a schedule where they'll have. They won't have multiple things going on at once, so you'll be able to see everything happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
But does
as
the
it
same pass
happens.
get us to all of it the whole weekend, or are there just single day passes, or are there going to be like?
I think
4-day
they
pass?
have like passes for the weekend.
Okay.
Because I think that's what my mother-in-law and sister-in-law are getting. Like a whole, they're gonna get an Airbnb out here in Conroe. And
nice,
Yeah, because
yeah.
we live in Pasadena, Deer Park area.
Okay.
So they're like, we don't want to be driving back and forth an hour every day, which we're gonna do the same. We're staying out here.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
And I
yeah,
know-
no, they have weekend passes.
I know they have a discount program with the Hyatt Regency in Grand Central Park,
Yes.
Conroe, that they can go and call the Hyatt, let them know they're coming for the American Federation event or the International Medieval Federation event. I don't think they could miss that. Hyatt would know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
should
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's a great place to get some discount
should know.
lodging, and I know they've tried to support the event. I know the city's going to try and support the event all we can, and we look
Yes.
forward to seeing you guys again between now and then, and catching
Yeah.
up either in shares or something, or coming back on the show.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we'd love to.
in battle gear or something, or
Oh,
off in the
yeah.
woods.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
Off in the woods.
We'll get
In
some
the
pictures
woods,
in the
yeah,
woods.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
will any of y'all be at the Renaissance Festival this year?
Probably just visiting, but not fighting. No.
Okay.
Correct.
And when you go, are you going in full gear?
I'm not, but we do have guys on the team that do.
Yeah.
They
Parade?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they parade around.
They,
Yeah.
they'll put
Why
their
not?
full.
Nick.
Yeah, Nick,
I know
Nick-
I would.
loves a photo op.
Nick-
I know I would. I'll tell you
the
right
giant, the
now.
mountain.
Yeah, he loves a photo op.
His stuff weighs so much.
Yeah. It's gotta.
Yeah.
I was standing next to him. I was like, this guy just dwarfed me. I was
Yeah.
like,
No,
wow.
literally his brigadine, when it's
a
laid out
quilt.
flat, it's the length of my entire body. I'm 5'9". Like
Yeah.
it's the length of my entire body.
Yeah, he's no joke.
No.
All right, guys. Hey,
But yeah,
thank you.
if the people out there, like, if this sounds like something you want to come do, we have the gym
Hit
and
us
we are
up.
open every day. So yeah, hit us
You
up.
want me to get involved? Like, be a warrior.
Come
Yeah,
fight.
yeah.
We'll put you. You don't have to have armor to start. You come
Yeah.
start. Come see what it's all about. You know.
Cyrus says he's
$35 a
getting
month for our
armor.
gym membership.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cyrus says he's getting his stuff worked on or brought in from
Yeah.
all over the world. You know, where
Yeah.
somebody will
Yeah.
fix a helmet or fix a gear in his
Yeah.
armor, repair work and minor stuff, and then
We do a
you
lot of
gear.
repairs at the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have like we can do a lot
little
of the stuff ourselves, but we also
blacksmith
have a guy
section.
that does it.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's a good touch.
We've
I
learned
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set rivets, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah,
How
I would
to
think that's in
sew.
play.
Oh
How to
yeah, how
sew
to
the
sew.
leather.
Sew comes in handy so much.
So
in
this is
sport.
the third international event.
that we've been a part of.
That you've
been
Yeah,
a part
this
of.
has been going
Yeah.
on forever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing everybody here in Conroe and meeting some new people from around
Yeah.
the world. And it'll all be here for the same event in the
Yeah.
same week, and just engulfed
gonna
in
be
it.
fun.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of
Yeah.
time. In 4 days, no time to really get to know some, make some new friends.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah,
from all
we
over the
do
world
every
that with
time.
kindred spirit, you know.
Right, pick
Yeah.
up a new hobby to follow or join
Or join,
Absolutely.
just
yeah.
whatever
That
you
sounds
like.
crazy
you know?
cool.
Like, come on.
Well, thank y'all for coming on the show
Yeah.
today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for
us.
having
And
us.
we look forward to visiting with you again, catching up and sharing some of this
Yeah.
stuff. Folks, we'll be right back after this with more of the Texas Ticket Show here on Lone Star Community Radio.
Car enthusiasts of Conroe, FM 104.5 and 106.1 Lone Star Community Radio invites you to shift into gear every Monday from 1 to 2 with Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy for news on all things automotive in the greater Houston-Conroe area. Can't make a live show? We've got you covered. You can find all of our uncut content, including full episodes on Spotify, iTunes, Play Store, YouTube, Facebook, and irlonestar.com. Again, that's Mondays 1 to 2, Cruising Car Club Talk with Robert and Randy. See you there.
Lone Star Radio on my
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. This is Armando.
And Carey.
So won't you kick your feet up if you
Hi,
have
how are you?
Fantastic. Fantastic. And here with us in the studio, we have Talavera Coffee.
Talavera coffee.
Talavera Coffee.
Yes.
What does Talavera mean?
Talavera is a form of pottery from Mexico. It was popularized in Puebla, Mexico, where
Okay.
my mother is from. So we
Awesome.
leaned into that inspiration for our business.
And you do your own coffee beans and everything, right?
Yes, we do.
Do you source them from that area?
We try to. We just ran out of our Puebla coffee. We are trying to get a replacement of our Puebla.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
A lot of Oaxaca, a lot of Chiapas right now.
Nice.
Yes.
And tell me, I always associate a grit, a stronger coffee to most of my South American coffees of any kind. You know, they typically are, and I don't know how that happens this way, but maybe it's just good roasters. I don't know, the bean,
Yeah,
the water.
a lot of those coffees, and like part of the fun of like getting to just use a lot of Mexico coffees for me as the roaster is most of the people roasting these coffees, they just take them really dark and they have the really strong kind of robust flavor. But if you kind of go a different route and you kind of take a little bit more medium, a little bit more subtle approach to these coffees,
Yeah.
there's so much more to them.
More
a lot,
caramel, more
yeah, a lot more
sweetness.
chocolate, a lot more sweetness.
And I was told, I always thought the darker the bean, the stronger my cup of coffee is going to be. But I was told that means you're roasting it already and it's less strong.
It's a double thing because a lot of baristas thought that, well, okay, the taste and the feeling of a dark roast coffee, it feels like it hits you more, right?
Yeah.
And so the first thought was, oh, there's more caffeine. There's not. Then the thought was, okay, we have these, specialty coffee baristas, and they're like, well, actually what's happening is the light roast coffee has more caffeine because the dark roast, you roast it out, it burns out. And that's not true either because the temperatures that you would need to get to roast caffeine out are well above the temperatures you see in the roasting environment. So technically,
It's the
dark
same.
roast coffee has a slightly more caffeine in it because you have roasted out the other stuff. So
And it gives it a more robust taste. And so one of the things right over there at 213 North Thompson Street inside the Collective, you have a store right here in downtown Conroe,
Yes.
and it's a fabulous little shop. It's that place I thought was going to be tiny when I walked in there. It was so much more
It's
to it.
huge.
It just keeps going.
Yes.
Surprising. It's
Yes.
totally surprising. And you had some farmers markets that are going on down here that you'd like to invite people to stop in while they're down at
Yes,
the farmers market.
so there is a weekly farmers market every Saturday, so tomorrow, from 10 a.m. to 2.
Okay, great.
And we're right down the street for like any coffee fix you need.
Oh, yeah, so they could walk the little thing and they
Yes.
go down there and get a coffee from you.
Yes.
And it'd be great to try some of those things and support local businesses here in Conroe.
Yes, please.
And Mr. and Mrs. Steele,
Yes.
do you ever see the show Remington Steele?
No.
No?
Is it?
What was
Have
it?
you?
Remington Steele?
Remington Steel.
No.
No?
No.
Google it.
We got to.
It's all husband and wife detective show back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, so we're just the coffee version of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you brought us some stuff. What do you got? What do you got? Tell us about what these, they're interesting looking.
These are our bottled lattes. We brought you a café de olla latte, an horchata latte, and our...
Horchata latte.
Yes.
Wow.
It's so good. And a mariposa limonada.
I love the
In
theme.
case you don't
the-
want
some
coffee,
coffee for you.
we have...
Take.
Yes.
I'll be taking those. Don't
Like,
don't
I'll-
even look at
like,
my coffee.
I will fight you for one.
I'll arm wrestle you, and that is it. Don't even look over here, Dick. Coffee. It's like crack at my house. I gotta have it, and I'm the only one that drinks it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm the only coffee drinker in my house. But it's like, Dad, when are we gonna go grocery shopping? There's
I
nothing
like,
to eat
I
in
like
here.
to
There's
make
still
my
plenty
own
of coffee.
cold
Oh, yeah. Yes. Cobra is fantastic.
You can have one of those.
Okay, cool. I'll
We
take
don't
it.
actually have it right here, but the one we use at the shop is
Let me
this
see.
Cuarenteno, and that one's
Yep.
actually a really delicious cold brew.
Oh, nice.
So which one you get? The Cotoras or the Casa de mi Familia?
He has casa.
Casa. So that's our house blend. It's a 70, yeah, it's 75% a washed Chiapas, 25% a natural Chiapas. So lots of chocolate, lots of caramel, a little bit of fruitiness in there. That's what we're using on espresso every day.
Berry jam, chocolate cake, cherry cola, and that's what I always get when I go to your place. I always get the espresso.
Yeah.
You know, but I like it sweet. You know, I'll sweeten it up a little bit of sugar and.
Yes.
Have you seen what's his name? Russell Crowe is in it, and he's the exorcist for the Catholic Church, the Roman and I think it's called. He's for
Oh, do scare
the
me,
Vatican.
yes.
He's the exorcist for the
Was
Vatican.
it an Exorcist movie? Or?
No, but he performed exorcism as the exorcist for the Vatican.
Okay.
And in the movie, Russell Crowe, right? But he has a great Latin accent, right? He speaks fluent, you know, and when he orders his coffee, it made it sound so good, you know. He's, little cafecito, por favor. You know, and he would give him the little espresso. Man, you know, he would give the, in Latin, it was just like, then. That's how you order it.
That's what I order it, yeah.
That's how you order that. So other specialty drinks. I love the horchata. Now tell them about what horchata is for those that don't know. I know our 106.5 audience is very familiar with what horchata is, but for those that don't know.
For horchata, I make it myself. So it's a rice milk drink, usually sweetened with condensed and evaporated milk. We just let the rice sit in water for a while, and then we blend it up with cinnamon. It soaks with the cinnamon, and then we blend it all up, and we add the evaporated milk and the condensed milk, and it's just a really refreshing drink that's drank like in Mexico everywhere.
Right.
Yes.
And I found that, you know, when I was growing up here in Conroe 50 years ago, there was places that were already well entrenched then, right, that had been here for decades, you know, and one of them was a little taqueria that had been over here, and it's no longer there, but when it was, there were the ladies that used to work at a ranch, and the guy had owned the ranch passed away, right, and so they ended up opening the restaurant with the severance that they got from their years of working with the rancher as he passed. They were included in the will. And so they opened up this restaurant, but they would make their own coffees, and they would make everything, really. I mean, it was a straight up, you know, but they would always infuse the regular house coffee with cinnamon, and they had the, you know, the cone filter in the pot. You know, and that thing would sit in there, and they'd make the coffee that way.
I think that's more of a café de olla.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it?
a
I don't know.
A café de olla is a standard like Mexican drink, morning drink. So it's like just ground beans in a pot with olla and cinnamon and cloves.
Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
there was a
some
taste I
orange
couldn't put my finger on. I was like, man, this is so
Some
good.
add star anise and some add orange peel. It really is up to like how you make your café de olla. But it's
Star
usually
anise,
in
wow.
the
Originality.
pot. Yes.
That's how I remember my grandma making it too.
The star anise?
Yeah.
Yeah. I look for calls to use that all the time. It's like so rare.
And
like
it's good.
It is.
Yes. It'll wake you up.
Yeah.
I like that to use it as the alternate for a citrus in there, and it brings that taste. I guess that can associate, like you know, like the cinnamon, the clove. You know, that partnership, or like nutmeg would be included in there. I think, you know, that whole. But I don't know if I'd put any of that in my coffee. And cinnamon's got a bad habit of floating. You know, how do you keep it from like putting that cinnamon on
Whole
the top?
cinnamon.
It's a whole cinnamon stick. So when we soak the rice, I soak it with the whole cinnamon stick, and then I blend it all together.
Yeah.
I do strain out any residual rice / cinnamon, so you're getting the flavor without like
The
like
grit.
particles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
of-
yeah. And you know, we talk with a lot of people that brew everything from home brews to commercial brews of all kinds of things. You know, from beer, energy drinks, and sodas, and root beers, and it goes on and on. Mead, wine, you know, good distilleries. You know, we visit with these folks, and it all comes down to a lot of their shelf life comes to filtration, right? So if I left the sediment, it would turn quicker. You know, the sediment goes bad before the drink does. So the more filtration, the longer shelf life. How do you do your filtration with to keep? I mean, the stick is a great idea. I don't know why I didn't
Yes.
think about that. You don't need to filter it if it's not in shreds.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
With the
So
rice now.
It's mainly that. It's mainly like
Yeah.
keeping it out of the
Yeah.
actual mix.
Well, for shelf life, it's we make a gallon at a time for the shop, so
It's
we
fresh.
go through
It's
it
fresh
way
daily.
before it's ever going to
Yes.
go bad.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And this you can see the expiration date there
Yes.
and how you can, you know, when it comes across, and you know, that's awesome. That's awesome. Do you drink a lot of horchata?
I do.
Yeah.
And I love horchata.
Do you?
Yeah.
My girlfriend likes horchata. She's all about it. And I'm like, man,
Yes.
she wants a 64-ounce cup. You know, they never comes in a normal cup.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
And
what
then
is
when you
that?
get to like the sediment part, all the way at the bottom, I'll just add a little bit more milk or water, and then it's like get another cup.
Get another
Yeah.
horchata.
Tricks of the trade.
So tell me what's this other one? Mariposa lemon.
Mariposa limonada. So that is our butterfly PT mixed with lavender and lemonade. It's a little refreshing
How's it
drink.
this color? The lavender does that?
It's actually the tea.
The tea does.
Yes,
it.
the tea
Yes.
is like this really rich blue color, and when it hits the acidity of the lemonade, it goes purple.
Really?
Barista tricks.
Man, our kid would love that.
So it's a really nice, refreshing drink without it having caffeine.
Nice.
Purple and natural.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're dealing natural products. Let me see the other one over there. What? Tell me a little bit about this one. And this is the
Las cotorras.
Las
La
cotorras.
Casa de mi Familia, and then
Yeah.
Las Cotorras.
So that Las Caduras is just a single origin, single region from Chiapas washed coffee.
Sweeter.
I would say.
For the Las Cotorras, it's a lot more caramelly, more chocolatey in my taste, whereas La Casa de mi Familia, it has 25% of a natural Chiapas.
Yeah, so there's 25% of the blend is that natural, so you get a little bit more fruitiness in there.
Yes.
Versus
cherry.
the Caduras, for me, that's just like, I just want a nice,
A standard
sweet,
brewed.
nice cup of coffee in the morning.
delicious.
That's what I reach for.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me this. Website, place online they can go
Yes,
and see you
please.
or order. Where would they go to do that?
Please, if you want to find us, we're at talaveracoffee.com. We have a variety of selections on there. We even do Colombians and Ethiopians
Yeah.
coffees that we roast on our website.
Although we are very low, more stuff to come.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have, and they keep
Yeah.
consuming. And you know, keeping it fresh, keeping
We are
requires that kind of rotation.
roast to order. So
Yeah.
as soon as somebody places an order, we roast the coffee for them. So
Yeah.
it's never
There's
sitting
no
on the
there's
shelf.
no Americana just sitting in a can
No,
back there.
no, there's no sitting on the shelf. There's no coffee waiting for somebody to order. It's as soon as you place that order, we're gonna roast.
My
that
shelves
coffee.
are just filled with little 400-gram bags waiting to be roasted down to your 12-ounce bag.
That's nice. And you've got a regular schedule, so you'll
Yes.
what's the regular schedule
So
of
we are
operation?
at the Collective, 213 North Thompson Street. We are there
Tuesday through
Tuesday?
Saturday,
yes,
8
from
a.m.
8
to
a.m.
3 p.m.
And that's right next to where the main stage for the Conroe Cajun Catfish Festival was at, right there on that corner
Yes,
there.
yeah.
And for those, right in front of the Owen Theater, for those who don't know, the parking lot behind Guadalajara's. And
It's free
so-
parking.
Oh, is
Yep.
it? And it's a
Yes.
nice parking lot. You could put 200 people in your coffee shop parking lot, you know, which is more than almost any other parking lot for coffee shops in the country.
Yeah. if we had the room inside, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, okay, let's get some chairs on the porch. But
Yes.
you know, that parking lot I think is identifiable to a lot of folks, so they can be able to find you when they come down, because that's where they'll probably park for the. And it's a great parking spot for the market days, and
Yeah.
you should go down and see that. I go down there and find so many cool things, and from vanilla makers that like vanilla sugars and pure vanillas that I can't get anywhere else. Certain types of
yes.
oils and olive oils
Yes, the
and
Collective is full
you
of
know,
things. In the
And
market. Sorry, the market.
Yeah,
sorry.
and the market. You know, there is and again, the collective has a lot of stuff, and the city of downtown Conroe has a lot of little offerings that you can get it on there. But if you can find them and you know where to go, right?
Yes.
Otherwise, people just aimlessly walk around. I don't know what's doing here. Well, right next to where you parked, you can come and visit you guys and see the Conroe Collective. Do a little shopping while you're there, and as well as visit the whole market. I think it'd make a wonderful morning. I think that starts around 9 or 10 o'clock on Saturday. I
Oh, yeah.
believe.
Yeah, 10 to 2.
10 to 2 tomorrow. So you can go out there at 9:30, grab your coffee, stroll around with a nice warm cup in your hand the whole time, shop the vendors, and enjoy your afternoon, and get some shopping in at the Conroe Collective.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's
Love
a,
that place.
It's a beautiful, like it'll be a beautiful day to be able to go and do the farmers market and be able to stop and by and get some coffee.
And there's gifts in there. There's men's and women's clothing. There's
Yes.
leather goods. There's novelties and all kinds of
It's
cool
almost
stuff.
like a farmer's market inside
Yeah.
a shop as well.
There's over
Yes.
80 vendors in the one space.
I've met a bunch of them. They're great people, and
Yeah.
you got to pass the. We have a couple of Mimi's on Main and a few others. That antique store in your corner there.
Yes,
What's that
there's,
thing called?
I don't.
It's been
not
there
the name,
forever.
but
It was
there's-
there before the taqueria that I get that farm raised catfish. Farm raised coffee from. They were there, and they've been there the whole time. And I think some of those goods have been there too. But I go in there and I find things like this is the same plate my mom decorative plate over our dining room table. When I was growing up, I kept looking at what is that plate for? What, they had it there. I'm like, it's the plate that mom had over the kitchen. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'll take it. He's like, really? And I'm like, yeah. yeah. It's one of those.
I do have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
If let's just say someone was visiting Conroe and they wanted to purchase it online, do you guys deliver?
We do delivery throughout Houston,
And Conroe.
and if there's an option on the website for free delivery, it's free delivery around Houston, and it's free delivery if you pick up at the shop. So there's an
nice.
option on there if you want to just come by the shop and pick up your order. Put your order in like a day before. I'll have it ready. We'll get it to the shop,
Or you just standard ship.
or we can send and ship.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. Well, and tell me again, how can they find you? I got it. TalaveraCoffee.com. That's TALAVERA coffee.com. And if you didn't hear me say that, you can pause this and go back just a little bit, play it again, and then write it down. just in case that was beyond the reach of one of my viewers, that just needs his cup of coffee. Maybe he hasn't had enough coffee. Maybe he just needs a cup of coffee. Yeah, maybe. You never know. There's a guy out there that's thinking, I wish I could have a horchata right now.
Yeah.
Horchata latte.
Yeah.
Horchata latte.
Horchata latte. What's the difference between just a regular horchata and a latte?
Espresso.
Espresso. There's a shot of espresso and that'll get you
it
go.
look darker.
Get your day going right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I thank you for coming on the show today, and I'm really glad you made time to leave
Thank
the
you so
business.
much for having us.
I'm glad you came. And I hope you have a wonderful Father's Day. I know that's coming up, and a lot of other local holidays, as well as the Farmers Market on Saturday, 10 to 2. And you can stop by and come visit you guys.
Yes.
Fair enough? Okay.
I'll be there.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you for watching the Texas Ticket Show. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
glad
you for
came.
having me.
Yeah.
A
And,
little nervous, but I'm good.
yeah, you're good. And I appreciate the translation for all of our audiences. And thank you for watching the program. We'll see you next week here on the Texas Ticket Show on Lone Star Community Radio.